Good afternoon. Welcome to this grand day of opportunities, possibilities, and miracles. I greet you all this day with the greetings of respect and thank you for taking a few moments to join in with us on this day. Last week we shared some good messages. Many of you passed the video on. I certainly thank you for that. I hope that your week was a good week and you had some great experiences during this week. So during this last week, we talked about, at least the time prior, we talked about a dream deferred. Did you have that conversation with anybody? Did you talk with anybody about their dreams? Did you revisit or rekindle your own thoughts and ideas of things that you have dreamed of and thought of doing? I hope that you did. I hope that went well for you. And we're going to have some more content for you to do today. Let's see, in our relaxing and breathing, we talked about some limitations that makes it difficult for us to be able to relax. So this week, excuse the warmth in this room, this week I am going to add another limitation or consideration that if you use this, you may find that this will be helpful in being able to relax and breathe just a little bit better. So, here's it. Now, what's happened while I'm talking to you, a screen popped up, and I hope this isn't blocking anything that we're doing here. Hopefully it's not. So, here's the second thing that I would like you to consider in terms of being able to relax and breathe. Giving yourself permission to be human, to recognize that you cannot please everyone. I know you know this. I know that we all know that, but sometimes we still find ourselves trying to please everybody, and it frustrates us, makes it difficult to relax, because you may have children and you may have different children that require different things or ask different things of you, maybe emotionally, maybe financially, maybe morally, maybe physically, I don't know. Maybe intellectually, there may be different things that those children are asking for. You're trying to please as best you can each one of them. You may have a spouse or a partner or a boyfriend or girlfriend or whatever that you're trying to please. You may have an employer that you're trying to please. You may have employees if you run your own business. Or there may be a mother that you're trying to please, or a father, or siblings, or friends, and sometimes you have all these people pulling at you from different directions. You're trying to please everybody emotionally here, and do you have time to please this one here? And you haven't learned how to master saying no, and you're trying to please everybody. And when you look in the mirror, you don't feel good about who you are, because ultimately you haven't pleased yourself. Give yourself permission to realize it's okay. You can't please everybody. And I know that you have heard this before, but there are some people that no matter what you do, you won't be able to please them, because for some reason they don't like you. And you can try, they'll ask for things from you, but whatever you do won't be enough. You'll visit them as you think on a regular basis. You don't come often enough, or you don't call as much as you should, or I thought you were going to do more and you didn't do that, or you did less and seemed like you wasn't even interested. And so you have other people who, no matter what you do, no matter what you give them, no matter how you share the best of yourself that you have available, some of them are not going to be pleased with your best efforts. That's normal. That's human. Doesn't mean you don't love them. It just means you can't please everybody. Give yourself permission to recognize that. Next week, we're going to talk about another thing I want you to give yourself permission for. Think about that. So now, here comes the mindful moment piece. And you know, when you're a student of life, everything that you see, hear, and experience becomes lessons that helps you better be able to manage difficult experiences or situations. So some of you know, you caught part of the video of me traveling in Arlington, Virginia, D.C. this last weekend. So let me tell you a little bit about the experience on the boat, because the theme of this mindful moment content is ride the wave. So I got on a boat with my cousin, my nephew, and my cousin's friend, and we all went on this boat that felt like a speedboat to me. I'm not sure if it was. It went fast, I know that. And we went out on the Potomac River, and it was a great thing. So as we were riding along, early on in the trip, and my cousin, about three things started to happen. One, my cousin started increasing the speed in the boat. Two, he said, you better take a seat and hold on. Three, the waves started coming because of other boats passing by. And so, I've been around long enough. I understand the basic concept and words used in the English language. So when he said, hold on, I held on as best I could. And the first wave hit, and, well, my nephew dropped his phone. I misplaced my coat jacket temporarily. And the other friend of ours that was traveling experienced a slight medical emergency. We were able to resolve that. There was no stitches or involved, or there was no fracture that we're aware of, but there was a bit of blood. So it was a situation that developed during that first bump. So he said again, listen, it's going to be another wave coming. You better hold on. So again, my understanding of holding on is that you brace to what you've got and you secure yourself as firmly as possible so that you can be prepared to get this hit. That is my first time in a boat like this. So I'm bracing, I'm preparing myself, and the wave hit. Now, I don't know how many of you have actually been on a boat like that and a wave hit. Well, holding on takes a different kind of meaning when you're on a boat. Because if you sit rigidly like this and you're on a boat and that wave hit and the boat does like this, it creates this kind of situation to the body and the seat. That's not really a good thing in the boat. So he didn't share that part of it. So what holding on meant started taking a bit of a different definition. So as the next wave was about to come, because we were still going faster, I realized I needed to hold on a little bit differently. So I did hold on, but I allowed myself to be a little bit more flexible. So when that wave hit, he said, here it comes, I kind of rode the wave. And the more I rode the wave, I said, oh, this is nice. This is all right. Just learning to ride the wave. That's what holding on meant. So, and at the end of this, by the way, it was a great ride for the most part. At the end of it, I did have to take a couple of a leave because I had to speak the next day, and I wanted to be able to manage that, well, because there were some things that happened with that bumping, as you can imagine. So let me show you how that ties into our mindful moment content for life. We are kind of like in a boat as we travel along, and there are waves that come and hit us. What are those waves? The first part of the waves are challenges and difficulties. So you might have a debt that hits you all of a sudden and may rock your boat, not rock your world. That's a different session, but rock your boat, right? Or there may be a situation with relationships with people who are important in your life, and things go sideways or go to the left and things don't work out just right, and it might rock your boat. That's the wave of things. Or you might get a diagnosis or something that might rock your boat, and it can cause you to be unsettled and create some real complications because the waves are going to hit us at some point. Now, usually people only talk about the challenges and the difficulties in terms of waves that rocks your boat. I want to tell you about something else on the other, kind of where I'm pointing, on the other side. Opportunities can come that can rock your boat as well. You may have an opportunity to get a new job, to relocate, to go to the health club more and work out, to some opportunity that may come to you to advance in a position beyond where you were. But that opportunity hitting your life might create a ripple in other parts of your life that could cause some complications. So the question is, how will you handle it when you are hit with those challenges, with those difficulties, when those problems come? Some people do what I refer to as being kind of bad in their way of managing. I told you I took a couple of a leave after it was over. Said I need to learn how to ride the wave, right? Some blame others. Some blame the boat. Yeah, I'll never get on another boat again in life because of what happened. May have only been on one or maybe two. It's like in relationships, they say, oh, I'm not going to get another relationship because all boats, all men are like this, all women are like this, all marriages are like that, or all debts are like this, or all doctors. And we get this kind of narrow vision about things in life, and we just assume everything is always like that. And we blame other people and situations on us having difficulty with the waves of life that hit us, instead of learning how to ride the wave, right? Some people, they refuse to get involved in anything else. They just say, I'm not going to do anything else anymore. They avoid all opportunities. I'll never do things like this again, because they're blaming other people for it instead of taking responsibility. Some people deny the negative effects that happens when a wave rocks your boat and upsets things in your house, and they go around saying, oh, everything is fine, everything is okay, when people on the outside can plainly see something has upset your world and you're not even willing to open up to look at it. That's what it can be like. So the question is, what are you holding on to help you to be secure? Maybe some of your values. When that opportunity hits you, do you throw all values out the window? But what are your core values? Is loyalty a core value of yours? Is honesty a core value? Is respect a core value? What are the things that are true with you that you say, no matter what happens in this relationship, this is who I'm going to remain? No matter what happens in this financial situation, there's certain things I'm just not going to do. No matter what happens with my health, there's just certain things I'm going to continue to be able to do, because I have the right mindset for being able to handle that. So what are you holding on in terms of your character? How does your character define you? Or does it change on a whim? Those things you hold on to when challenges or opportunities come and hit you. Haven't you seen people get a new job and all of a sudden their whole personality changes? Right? Or something happens negative and their personality changes, positive or negative. They weren't holding on. Next part, what are you willing to be flexible with so you can ride the wave? Some people don't want to be flexible with their attitude, their behavior, their mindset. Some people have attitudes and mindsets that I'm just going to stay this way no matter what changes in life. I'm going to maintain, this is just who I am. As if we don't have the possibility or the ability to change the way we manage things. So what are you willing to be flexible with and let go of? You remember the situation we were talking about with when Irma hit? People immediately had to decide, wait a minute, I don't need to risk my life to get this pair of shoes or to get this dress. I need to get out with the bare essentials, what's most important. But you don't have to have a natural disaster to make you assess, what are you willing to be flexible with? Your ideas, your values, what are you willing to be flexible with so that you can stay healthy and ride the wave of change as things happen? I just listened this weekend to a Vietnamese refugee, and he was talking about how he had to remain flexible in order to make things work. And he says even now, he has a $150 car, and he just needed tires. The tires cost $400. He said he had a decision to make. What was most important? He bought the $400 tires. Right? And put it on his $150 car. He said because he's comfortable with that. He's clear about what success is, what winning is, and it's not about things. It's about a peace of mind and contentment. He's learned how to adapt his mindset to finance, to winning, to success, and he's riding the wave of life and he's happy. And you know how you can tell if you're riding the wave successfully? How contented are you? How peaceful are you in your boat ride of life this day, this week? Are you struggling because you're rigidly holding on to an idea or a belief? Or maybe you're even hanging on to people that you know are not supportive of what you're believing in and what you're doing. But you're holding on to them still, and you're wondering why you're having such a difficult time. Maybe the people you're connected with is making it difficult for you to do well. Much we can talk about. I just want you to take these things at least into consideration so that you can ride the wave when those challenges or those opportunities come and you've held on to what's most important, but you've let go of things that are inconsequential, that are not most critical at the end of the day. And you're not blaming other people, and you're accepting your own responsibility, and you're allowing for those things to happen. So, all that being said, I encourage you to look for an opportunity to ride the wave. Look for an opportunity to help someone else ride the wave, because sometimes telling someone who's experiencing a death or a diagnosis, just telling them to hang in there, is not good enough. Just telling them to hold on. They may do what I tried to do on the boat and hold on and get all kinds of negative repercussions. Maybe be a little bit more specific. Look for an opportunity to help someone who you see as being bumped and pushed around on the waves of life that are coming to them. See if you can find an opportunity to help somebody else learn to ride the wave. And they can't get it from the way you see it, but as you've heard me say, and Zig Ziglar said, inspiration is better caught than taught. Lead by example how to ride the wave. And it's going to affect everybody a little differently. Consider the possibility of developing that skill. Think of what that'll be like if you actually learn to enjoy your ride, your walk through the amusement park, your boat ride when the waves of challenge or the waves of opportunity hit. Instead of being rigid, think of the possibility of what your life will look like if you ride the wave successfully. People admire you and they may start following your example. Think of the possibility of what that can be like. Last, expect and experience the miraculous journey that you can have through your boat ride, through your experience in life. Experience and expect great things to happen. Be conscious of, man, this is all right. I'm making it. Yes, I've lost a loved one in death, but I'm going to be all right. I've been able to develop my night vision, and I've learned how to ride the wave, and I picked up some skills about relaxing and breathing just a little bit more, and I don't try to do it all. And I understand I can't please everybody. I'm going to give 100% of myself whenever I have 100% to give. When I can't, I'm going to do the best that I have. Imagine the miracles and the great experience that you'll have by doing that. Thank you. Thank you. Remember to relax and breathe as you go through the rest of this week in this journey. Thank you for sharing your time. Pass it on to someone. Pass on the video, share the page, like the page, pass it to someone else who might be able to benefit from what we talked about. If not, tell it to them in your own words, and that'll be just as powerful. Thank you for joining in. Until we connect again, I ask and wish that you travel well with respect.